Welcome to the Angel Rewatch, a spoiler-free retrospective podcast on Angel. I'm William.
And I'm Derek, and this is a podcast for Deep Down, originally airing October 6, 2002, written by Stephen S. DeKnight. So Angel's still in his box, but he's dreaming that everything is okay, perfect even. Yet all his dreams end up violently, usually with him feeding or killing his family. Got it? Good, so we don't have to go back to these anymore. In present day, Fred and Gunn have taken in Connor to Angel Investigations as they search for Angel. There's obviously two of these groups who are way more invested in that mission than the third member. In fact, when Connor does find out that Fred and Gunn have a lead, he worms his way into finding her. He separates himself with the vampire in question and kills her. Then Connor tells Gunn and Fred that he had no choice. Fred and Gunn aren't the only ones looking for Angel. Wesley is now much more intimate with Lila, has a plan as well. He sort of has tied Justine up in his closet, a closet which he has fitted with jail bars onto. Apparently being unemployed, booty call is very lucrative for Wesley. Wesley is taking out a boat every night, obviously getting information from Justine about where she left Angel. So far in 3 months, there has been nothing he has been able to find. At Wolfern Heart, Lila is once again at the bottom of the totem pole. Gavin is Linwood's right-hand ass-kicker, and they aren't too happy that she's sleeping with the enemy, and she's also failed too many times, whatever that means. Linwood calls a meeting, essentially it seems, to fire Lila, but Lila takes control. She says she talked to a senior partner, and they aren't too happy with how Linwood is running things. So she chops off Linwood's head and announces herself as the new head of Wolfern Heart. Wesley finally manages to find something in the ocean. He sends Justine down to look for it in scuba gear. So to recap, Wesley has custom-fitted jail bars, a boat, and scuba equipment, and he hasn't worked in roughly 5 months. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Justine and Wesley find Angel's box and hoist him up. Angel's delirious and raving, and animal blood won't fix him. Wesley realizes he needs stronger blood and cuts open his own arm and feeds Angel the blood. This after Angel was raving, thinking that Wesley was Connor, and he said that I should have killed you when I had the chance. Or something along that effect. Fred contacts Lauren in Las Vegas after months of trying. Lauren is some kind of star, apparently. He tells Fred that he hasn't found anything about Angel or Cordelia, but he will let her know if he hears anything. Lauren hangs up the call, telling Fred to give Fluffy his love. A little while after this phone call, the phone rings again, and Gunn answers it. Upstairs, Connor is sulking and playing Game Boy, and Fred comes in seemingly trying to soothe him. She gives him a sandwich and tells him she understands how hard his life has been. She gets that he is suffering, but she's totally done with this crap. Wesley was the one who called, and she tases Connor in the heart several times. Fred and Gunn tie up Connor and yell at him for betraying them so bad. They wonder if it's a matter of time before he turns on them as well. Wesley brings Angel in and quickly leaves because he's all self-sacrificing and doesn't belong or whatever. As Fred and Gunn are distracted with Angel, Connor escapes and attacks them. Angel stands up and by sheer force of will gets Connor to sit down. He then tells Connor that the world sucks, but that's why they exist, the champions. They are here to make the world the way it ought to be, and Connor isn't ready for that. Angel tells Connor he loves him, but he needs to get the hell out of his house. When Connor is gone, Angel says that they need to find Cordelia, and then we go and see Cordelia, being a higher being, being bored out of her mind. And that's the end of the episode.
We're back. Actually, I appreciated this premiere for all of what would normally annoy me about premieres, where they recap where everyone's at and all of the exposition that goes along with it.
Mm-hmm.
After such a long break, it actually such a long break. It wasn't 3 months for us, but
it was a month.
A month, yeah. It was nice to have that in the episode. But no, I actually thought this was really solid. I really, I just like the fact that to get to watch Angel again, I guess it would put me in the right mood.
That was good. I don't want to say it was surprisingly good, because I don't, as I have said, I don't have fond memories of season 4, but my memory isn't that it's all crap. There's a certain point where I think it goes to crap. But I think it starts out pretty strong. At least my memory. And as I've said, my memory so far on this rewatch has not been crystal clear of how things actually end up shaking out.
Right.
So, take that for whatever it's worth.
How did you feel about them tying up a lot of the loose ends in one episode? Or was the break over summer efficient enough time?
Well, yeah, because you need to get Angel back. I don't know what loose end did they tie up besides getting Angel
back? I mean like getting Angel back.
I couldn't take any more Angel hallucinations, I'm sorry.
Them figuring out Connor betrayed them.
Well, once you get Angel back...
All of the Lila stuff.
Okay, I see. Well, once you get Angel back, then you have to figure out that Connor betrayed them.
Right.
That I would like to be told as quickly as possible, because I think this episode leaves Connor in a much more interesting place than he was left in the season finale. I don't know if it's much of a loose end as it's more setting up where Lila's going to be this season. But then on the same time, we did talk about how... Because I remembered that Linwood gets his head chopped off. I did not remember why exactly, but we talked about when we did season 3, and I thought it was suspicious that Linwood is looking out for Linwood and Lila is actually on the side of the senior partners, and you didn't want to say anything because obviously remember this scene happened.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's so much wrapping up a loose end as it's just checking him back on a story that has existed and setting up where Lila is going to be for the rest of the season. The loose end is that Cordelia is...
Yes.
Well, Cordelia's bored and a higher being, or Chloe, and Lorne is in Las Vegas, and don't know what I can say about that. But I'm going to say that I would think the fluffy line is significant considering how much they talk about it.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's just weird enough. Okay, well, I obviously get the sense that you hated all the flashbacks. The dream sequences or whatever. I didn't
hate them. I thought one was cool, and then I realized that the only reason they exist is because they can't, because they need to have David Boreanaz in the episode somehow. I don't know. And it's just...
And Cordelia.
Well, yeah, that too. And it's just Angel. It's the same thing. Angel imagines a perfect scene, and then it goes to hell. And sometimes it's him killing people. I was over it about after the Cordelia one, really. And there's really only one more with the Connor.
Yeah, but there's really like 3, but
still, I'd rather Angel be absent from the episode altogether until Wesley finds him in the metal coffin.
See, I kind of... Well, the first one I thought was really well done.
Okay, the first one might be my least favorite.
Really? I think it was very cool, especially that's the first scene we get. And I thought that it was really chilling when it turned and it looks all underwater with the lighting effect, and you have Connor saying, freeze the moment and it'll last forever. I thought that was really effective. But honestly, I appreciated them using this in a way so that they could have Angel injected into the episode and Cordelia injected into the episode. Now, it's interesting because they even give us I don't know, I like getting Angel's perfect vision of what life should be like.
Thanksgiving dinner.
The Thanksgiving dinner, and he's all happy and chummy, and it's almost nauseating at some points. We're gonna make out in front of everybody, and then, oh, thanks, Dad, shucks, and then it comes back to reality, kind of.
Okay. See, that's my problem with it, that it's so overly cheesy, and I don't have a problem with that because Angel, it is. I have every belief that is Angel's perfect idea of a a knight because Angel's a dork. But
yeah,
I'm not saying that you thought it was, obviously, because it's a rewatch and all that. But it seems so over the top perfect that it clearly wasn't real. And I didn't like being manipulated into thinking that this was. That is my feeling on. That's
yeah.
Don't hate it. I'm just saying that's why it's his least favorite.
The Cordelia one was also interesting. I don't know if that was supposed to service more as like fan service for the people that are like really invested in that relationship. Hey, we stole this from you. Here's what it would be like. Now we're going to steal it from you again. Mm-hmm. But I actually liked that because it actually felt more like some of the stuff that Cordelia said actually felt like what Cordelia would have said in that situation.
Yeah, that's why I liked it more, because it felt... That beginning scene doesn't feel like anybody. It doesn't... maybe it sounds like Lauren, but no one else sounds like themselves. And Fred and Gunn don't really talk except about food, I think, so maybe that does sound like Fred, whatever. But... I like the Cordelia and Angel scene more because it sounded like something she would say to him. And also, I don't know if that was necessarily the intention, but there was a feeling, because it sounds so much like her, that maybe this wasn't even just a pure hallucination by Angel, that somehow this is Cordelia communicating to him, which may just be me talking out my butt, but because it sounds so much like Cordelia, I could think that this is her as a higher being, trying to communicate with him.
Yeah, I get that sense too, but then then
he bites her.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that I like from the last dream sequence is that he doesn't bite Connor. He
snaps his neck.
He does the neck snap, because that's a very Angelus, like that imagery. That motion has been kind of ingrained in my mind because of
it was also in the
Puffy on Jenny Calendar.
Yeah, well, it's also in the opening credits since it happens. But anyway, so let's talk about that. How do you read Angel biting Cordelia and killing Connor? And then he says later, thinking that it's Connor, that I should have killed you. Because I'm a bit confused. Because the Cordelia thing, I think I'm just reading as that he's hungry.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as when they're at the dinner and everyone's passing around food and he doesn't get anything. But are we supposed to read anything other than just anger at Connor when he hallucinates about killing him?
I don't know, because it also, the father will kill the son was complete BS. I just think it's complete anger. Maybe on some level, I mean, he knows that nothing's right, that it's kind of going wrong. Like weird lucid period where he's realized he's still stuck, and he would have been stuck in this, and if he would have killed Connor, he wouldn't be. I don't know. It was weird, and I know they just played it up so that he was saying that to Wes, but
yeah, because see, that's kind of maybe not my issue with it, but is it just that he says it? The reason he says I should have killed you is because it's for the Wesley moment, and so Wesley has a reason to just peace out. And it really has nothing to do with Connor. Or are they trying to suggest that maybe the father will kill the son will come true in some way.
I think it's more of setting up that relationship. It also puts a lot of tension on the last Angel and Connor moment, especially when he slams him against the wall, and then you actually see Gunn and Fred's face. They're actually kind of tense, even though Fred was the one that was literally just tasing him a whole bunch.
Okay, Fred tases Connor about 3 times directly in the heart.
It's a good thing he's superhuman.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Even if he is superhuman, that is like a kill shot. What is going... I get that she's angry. But calm down. That's like murderous angry.
Yeah.
And she really wants to tase him like multiple times. So much so that when Connor breaks free, I'm kind of okay with him tasering her in the neck.
Yeah. Fred was the bad cop.
Yeah, but it's not even she's the bad cop. She's just like deranged.
Yeah, she tases him and Gunn's like, whoa, cut it out, and then she breaks down in his arms like, oh.
Yeah, okay. There's a weird aggression, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That, it was very
Maybe
strange.
it's because Stephen Wright wrote this episode, and he also is the showrunner behind Spartacus and Daredevil, and those are both very violent shows. And he just likes violent things.
Hey, Angel has a history of violence.
Yeah, okay, sure, but still, Fred doesn't really have a history of tasering people in the heart.
It just got to see, I don't know. The first one's really striking because it's coming from Fred. Mm-hmm. So it's supposed to be like the shocking moment, like, haha, we found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's shocking, but then she keeps tasering him.
I don't know if it's a part of, the writers giving us some weird satisfaction that, he's getting what he deserves.
Okay,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
let's
let's
talk about Connor in this episode, because how do you feel about him?
It's really strange, because at the same time, I'm viewing it from the outside looking in, and it's like the show wants you to have this very, the show isn't sure what it wants you to feel, I feel like. Because it plays creepy music and everything. I find him in a very interesting place, because I actually like the fact that he's kind of pretending and hiding all of the leads and everything else because he doesn't want to get found out. But I also like the fact that he's kind of turning into a normal kid again. He has the oh, wasn't that cool? That was really cool, huh?
And he's playing Game Boy.
And he's playing Game Boy, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. So that they had a weird pretend house thing.
Well, they have a house. It's just huge.
Smaller familial unit. So that part's really interesting. I'm really happy where he's at the end of the episode, because they literally kind of drop it. He doesn't really argue with Angel when Angel's like, no, I didn't kill him. Holtz killed himself. And he's not like, yeah, BS, you tell me anything, you're a liar. He just kind of says, even if that were true, you still deserved it. Mm-hmm. He just kind of gets to be the
Well, he also sits down.
Teenager. Yeah.
And really, though, besides Angel's one shove, I feel like he could, Connor could have taken Angel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But it's just that, I don't know, is it some kind of weird respect, or is it just fear of Angel that causes him to sit down?
Both.
Probably. Yeah, that's probably right.
A little from column A and a little from column B.
Yeah, probably. But still, I will get into that in a bit, but I do, it's not that I feel like they haven't fixed any problems with Connor yet. But I don't feel any visceral hatred.
Yeah, I don't know if that is that a product of being away for so long?
That could be. And that's that I haven't warmed up to hating him. It could be that he's better now in some way. I don't know, because I still don't feel much for him as a character. Which is kind of how I felt about him when we left. I didn't really hate him then either, but I didn't feel anything for him, and the only kind of disdain I had for him was just watching him repeatedly over weeks and not feeling anything for him. So it might be that I've been away from him. I don't know. I do find Fred and Gunn taking him in and them getting along a more compelling side to him, that he's not just angry all the time. That he is, I know, and we did see it with Holtz, but it was, creepy because it was Holtz, and that makeup wasn't doing anyone any favors. So I like him I like him having an attachment to Fred and Gunn and seeming to like them. I don't think that's completely a front.
No, I don't think so either. Even though later that obviously that gets strained, and she's or Fred is like kind of crying to Gunn and like, how could he do this to us? Blah blah blah. He just was there, and then he can hear from the other room, and it gets really kind of dark and sinister there. But I like where they put the character now as opposed to at the end of the season.
Well, yes, because he can grow beyond
exactly
being mad at Angel, because that's all out in the open in Angel. And I also I don't want to dive into it because we're going to dive into it at the end, spoiler alert, but I like that Angel has disowned him, and it's not Angel trying to get on Connor's good side. Now you would think the story would be Connor, maybe not even Connor getting on Angel's trying to get back in, or just what does Connor do when he doesn't have the hatred or the drive about Angel to keep him going? And if he goes back to just saying, God, I can't. But what does he do now that, because good or bad, Angel's been a fixture in his life since he came back from Korthoff. Right.
And you've taken him away from his pseudo-adoptive parents with Fred and Gunn, like he was hanging out in the hotel getting bologna sandwiches, apparently.
Well, where else did he have to go?
Exactly.
And now we really have to answer that question, where does he go when he's been kicked out of the house?
So, how do you feel about characters developing between seasons and we not
Are you talking about Lila and Wesley?
No, I'm talking about Fred and Gunn, but we can then transition after that.
Well, I don't see. I'm not sure
how they're kind of like this family unit now. The way that they talk with Connor, I think Fred and Gunn seem a lot closer than they were at the end of last season, and they have this very we're worried about the bills and blah blah blah. Like they. I
don't want to get into that whole bills thing because that makes zero sense to me. It doesn't make zero sense to me because they really should be struggling, but they should be struggling whether Angel is around or not.
Right.
But, and I don't get the sense that now that I'm sure that the problems with the money will be magically solved next week. Because Angel,
I don't know about that.
Okay. Well, maybe they won't be and maybe it will be, but I would put a good money on it being solved because if they really want to tell that story, they should not be able to afford that hotel at any point. Unless they're doing business that one time that they put out flyers and it was overflowing.
The Connor College Fund?
Yeah. They had a website. Sorry. They put out flyers before, but then they made the website, and then
that was
the real money came in. Because this podcast is just blowing up because it's on the internet. Because that's how the internet works. Anyway,
all the internet monies with Z's.
We're basically billionaires. Where was I? Oh, so here's my thing about time jumps between seasons. As long as it's not too radically different, then I'm fine with it. if I can see the logical progression from where they ended in the finale to where they got, and I can't think of another example. The only thing I'm thinking of is that how The Office used to time jump between seasons and it be in a completely different place when we came back, and they have to refill it, which was fine because they refilled it. But I do find it jarring when you jump and things are completely different. This isn't really completely different. Lila and Wesley are still sleeping together, and there seems to be some kind of feelings on both sides now. And Fred and Gunn being a load has brought them closer together, and they're with Connor, so that all three of them have become tighter. That I'm fine with.
Okay. I really appreciated the bits of humor with Fred and Gunn, her trying to use Gunn's lingo.
Bro.
Mm-hmm. He lost the mission, bro, and can I say dog? Mm-hmm. And then later, I forget what the third one is, but Gunn just kind of rolls his eyes.
No, I liked, maybe it's because the show kind of moved too slow in season 3, where about the last 3 episodes were the same episode over and repeated. Mm-hmm. So I like that we just skip ahead, and now things are what I feel is in a more interesting place.
Yeah. I think that's fair to say.
Okay, so let's talk. Really, all we have to left talk about is Lila and Wesley, correct?
Yeah.
All right. I love it. So that's how I feel about it. Your feelings? Just everything was perfect.
They're getting very sweaty.
Oh, I'm not talking about their actual sex. So that's fine.
I like both individual stories, and I find them very interesting.
Yeah.
Although it was really weird immediately going from them having sex post-coitus and this weird tug and pull from them, or push and pull, because they're having feelings for each other but pushing the other away while trying to. It's really interesting. And then
why
immediately
you find that odd? Because that
I know. I actually like that. I found it odd that we immediately go from that to here's a key, and I locked Justine in the.
Okay, well, yeah, no, that's
by jail cell.
No. Yeah, no, that's weird.
I had sex. Yeah, I was having sex so you could hear it, mm-hmm. But you're just in the closet or whatever. Weird.
With the jail bars on it. 'Cause I really want to know how he commissioned those. I want to see that scene. Where it's all right, I need these. Don't ask questions. And apparently I have money for this, even though I don't have a job. And I was really poor last time we met us. But I guess Lila's paying him for sex is the only thing I can assume.
What's just a gigolo? Got it.
I mean, what else? That seems to be his only activity besides torturing Justine.
Yeah, I've got nothing for that. Mm-hmm. I don't know where he's affording all of these.
Again, that's why I don't think it's going to be a problem with now the Angel's back that they can't afford the Hyperion, because there are so many money questions going on in this show that once you open those floodgates, then there really has to be a whole show about these people struggling to make ends meet.
Sure. Maybe he's got a side commission job where people ask him about road.
Lila is the only one who has a steady income.
Yeah.
And is climbing the corporate ladder.
Maybe she's a sugar mama.
That's what I'm saying. She's paying Wesley for sex. That is the only reasonable thing. Why she thinks he needs a boat when she does. Okay, so let's talk. Speaking of that, she doesn't think. She tells Linwood that he doesn't know anything. What do you make of the fact that Lila clearly has some sort of affection for Wesley after their 3 months of sleeping together? Besides stuff.
It's interesting. It kind of shows that she's human or has the capacity for human emotion.
Mm-hmm. See, this is why I am nervous because I don't want Lila to become good. Or at
good.
least,
Yeah.
I don't want her to become good because she has feelings for Wesley. And I kind of just don't want her to be good in general.
Yeah.
But I really don't want it to be that she has feelings for Wesley and that softens her because love conquers all that crap. Because I feel like Lila of the previous 3 seasons would roll her eyes about that. I do like that she's been sleeping with this guy for 3 months, so yeah, she should have some kind of feelings for him because she's not a robot like Gavin.
Right. I also like how it kind of sets up the tension for the we're gonna fire Lila scene.
Again.
And then she's like, nah, I'm just gonna chop your head off.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that she has feelings for him. Maybe she is turning good. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
She's evil. She's gonna cut a guy's head off.
She hasn't lost her edge, which I'm fine. And again, I could be fine if they give her a redemption arc. I don't want that, but they could do it right. But I'm completely. I even like that she's having feelings for Wesley, but she is still even more ruthless than before at Wolf and Hart, because this is pretty much the exact same thing that happened when Lindsay was going to get the job. That I guess Wolf and Hart has these firing meetings out in the open for everyone to see, where they call a meeting just to humiliate somebody. And in that one, she was going to pull out a gun, and I don't know what she was going to do with that gun. Shoot herself, shoot everyone, take as many people with her. She was out of control. This, she has a plan. She has that early 2000s tablet thing that somehow has a knife on the back of the chair. Whatever.
Palm Pilot.
Yeah. Whatever. It's because that's a thing that would work. But whatever. That she takes control and she chops Linwood's head off. And now she is at least not the head of Wolf and Hart, because I really don't understand how the hierarchy of that law firm works. But she at least has Linwood's job.
Yeah, head of special projects.
I thought she was head of special projects. She had a head of
job.
I don't know.
Head of special projects.
So she took over Holland's job, correct? Lindsay and Lila were co-heads of special projects.
Yeah, Linwood was Holland's job, and
then they had a supervisor, which was Creepy Six Flags guy, and then it was Linwood. Or is
Creepy Six? I don't know. That's very, very. I don't know.
The point is that Lila has Linwood's job, and all those people report to her now.
Right.
That's all we need to know.
I really like how they set that scene up, both with Linwood and Gavin Gavin being the complete suck-up, or a lesser version of Lindsay, or just Lindsay, and then
No, he's not Lindsay. He's like Smithers, basically. He is.
Okay.
Lindsay, as much as I hate Lindsay, Lindsay was never a suck-up.
Yeah.
He was a golden boy for inexplicable reasons, but he was never a suck-up.
Yeah, maybe I was viewing it as more as Gavin is Linwood's golden boy.
Yeah, but he's not really a golden boy. He just follows him around and
makes kissy sound.
Yeah, exactly. He just kind of backs him up yeah, we said that. He's really his hype man. That's what he is. He might as well just be repeating every line that Linwood says.
I really wish he was good one, boss.
He basically... I mean, he doesn't say it, but it's implied.
And I also like getting Lila's facial reactions just before the meeting.
Mm-hmm. Which she's putting, I guess, the hidden blade, which, again, I have no idea how she hides that or how that mechanism works.
No, I think it was already a specialty chair or whatever.
It was a special, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever.
Just mystic mumbo.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, because I think it's a cool moment when she chops off his head.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, Gavin, clean that up.
Yeah. And it is a very clean wound. Very little blood. Must have cauterized the wound as well.
Yeah, she. Oh man, no, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
I mean,
Whatever. TV show can have blood. Got it.
I mean, it's on network television. It's not going to be gushing blood. It should be, but yeah. I'm surprised they were allowed to show the bottom of his head with you can see his spine or the beginning, however, I don't know. I didn't pay attention in health class, but his bones.
Right.
That's pretty gruesome. Anyway. And we see demon crap like that all the time, just not usually human head.
Yeah, I think that is the most graphic death scene we've had for a human.
Mm-hmm.
So, Wesley and Justine?
No, Wesley.
And Justine.
And Wesley. There's nobody else in those scenes, just Wesley. And this annoying gnat that keeps talking.
Hey, he'll take away her bucket.
Okay, let's talk about let's take away her bucket. Because she could still hit him in the head and then...
She has some sort of, like, Stockholm syndrome, or I don't know.
Okay, so the implication is that what Wesley says is that she's always been a slave and she just has nowhere to go, so she just goes with whatever authority figure is telling her what to do.
All right.
That is Justine, and that is fine, because I guess that's a character, even though whatever, she's the worst.
They just need Wes to be bouncing information off and have this character that's recapping everything.
Yes.
I don't think it makes sense for him to be sending her down there alone, because she can just be like, nope, didn't find anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was weird. But again, I guess it's that she's a slave.
And I guess it's like, well, I found something metal. You better bring something up that's metal.
Yeah, I can buy that I can buy in a certain way that I'm really trying to make it work, but still that she is trapped and she knows she's not going to get out of the situation unless he finds Angel. And she's now found Angel so she can leave. I guess that's what we're going with.
Right, but we didn't hear her say, like, hey, if I do this for you, you'll let me go, or we didn't see any other attempts of her to break out.
Well, we only get one episode, and she goes for that wrench, which she should have. I mean, beside the fact that he's going to take her bucket away, she could still kill him.
Ninja. Yeah, he's not a ninja. He's not going to be like...
he cannot catch a wrench. It doesn't matter if he can hear her picking up the wrench. If she swings it fast enough, he does not have angel reflexes to catch it.
Hey, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
And were they able to dodge the wrenches?
No.
Exactly. And she wasn't going to throw it at him. She was going to beat his skull in. At least that's what I'm thinking she was going to do. Not lightly whack him.
I like the moment because it insinuates the darkness from Wes that he has been doing very bad things, but we don't have to see it. And so it also helps.
Well, I think there's enough insinuated for the fact that she's in a closet with jail bars on it, tied up and gagged.
Well, what I'm saying is it doesn't hurt our image of the character.
No.
Like, if we see Wes, like, torturing people, we get the...
You really think he didn't torture her, though?
No, but as an audience member, it's left in doubt.
Sure, but he totally tortured her, though.
No, he totally tortured her.
So, I mean, I get what you're saying. But he tortured her.
Yeah.
So he tortured her. All right.
So the implications are really dark. Yeah. And I like the moment when he actually says, I'll take away your bucket, because the look on his face is really unhinged.
He had a woman tied up in his closet. He's unhinged, yes.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I know what you're getting at, though. Yes, I like how they're not backing away at all from Wesley It's not like in the 3 months, even though he goes out to find Angel, he's anyway redeemed himself. He's actually probably gotten worse.
Right, and but
I still buy that he goes out to look for
Angel. And I mean, I don't know if that's some semblance of him looking for redemption, or like he owes him this, so he's just going to do it.
He wants. You can see when Angel says, "I should have killed you," that I think probably he hoped that this would get him back in everyone's good graces. And he's kind of all self-sacrificing and a douche when he leaves. Like, no, you don't need me here. Oh, just leave. So, I think he does, in his deep down, he wants to be a part of the group. And I guess deep down, so does Angel, since Wesley is at the other head of the table. Take that for whatever symbolism it's worth. And yeah, I think he wants to be a part of it, and I think the reason he goes after him is that's why. But he also goes after him knowing that he's the only one willing to take the measures that it needs to, because Fred and Gunn have been pretty much useless for 3 months because they're trying to do things patiently.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Fred just needs a taser in her hand.
Well, yeah.
Justine.
What would happen if Fred ran into Justine with her taser?
She'd probably kill her because she's not superhuman.
Yeah,
and you're tasing the person's heart. She's going to have a heart attack and die or whatever. Stop her heart.
Okay, so but I don't think she's trying to kill Connor. She's a little taser happy, but I don't think she would. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm just saying I don't think her attempt is murder there. So I don't think she would have tased Justine in the heart.
Again, I like all of the bits of information that we get from Wes. I love the dialogue of like we all get what we deserve, even if he is being this like self-sacrificing guy. It's very appropriate for where his character is at.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's very self-aware. He knows that I guess he feels like he can't be redeemed even if he's doing this good deed. But he's like staying in the darkness, still being. I'm going to do things for the greater good, whatever that means. I
was going to say something, and then I realized that moment hasn't happened yet. So, yes, you are correct. There is a line that is coming up that I think explains Wesley quite well and what he's going through, but we can't talk about it. Yeah. And I just realized it had happened. I was going to cut you off with it. But anyway, yes, you are correct that I don't think he can be redeemed. So he's kind of just going along this dark path, but he's still deep down, like the episode, wants to be a part of the group.
Yeah. Or wants to be his former self.
Yes.
Or, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wants to be accepted again. Okay. Favorite moments and scores. Oh, no, we have feedback. Which I'm not surprised we didn't have. We only have one, because I'm not surprised that people are confused about when we're coming back, because I myself was confused. So our only comment is from Alicia, who said, I was unsure about starting the season. I've only seen a couple episodes, and from her, this is not a good season. I went into this episode with no hope, but I was wrong. This was an okay Angel episode. The good, I like the Thanksgiving oven with everyone, including Wesley and Connor. I like the playfulness of Connor and Angel in the Thanksgiving scene. Fred saying bro, dog, and word was funny. There you go. There's the third word. If you want to bitch slap Sourpuss over there for practice, I'm your cheering section. I liked Lauren this episode and Mama Fred. Thought it was cute. Fred bringing Connor a sandwich. I didn't expect her to taser him and tie her up. what you did to me was unbelievable, Connor, but I got stuck in the hell dimension by my girlfriend one time for over 100 years, so a few months on the ocean gave me some perspective. God, talking really takes it out of you. And Cordelia. Other. Wesley and Lila still disturbing, but I like shirtless Wesley. It's super creepy and disturbing that Wesley has Justine chained and jailed in his closet. Wesley's scar still hasn't healed yet. Connor kneeling on top of the building with the city behind him is kind of a hero shot, except he's not a hero or a villain. He's somewhat in the middle. Wesley saves Angel, and Angel tries to kill him. Lila is now running Wolfram Heart, so thank you, Alicia.
Yeah, thank you, Alicia. I think she summed up a lot of this episode. There's a lot of good bits. I don't know, for some reason I'm really stuck on the power shot of Connor.
The power shot of Connor, I thought that was Connor. When it first started, I thought that was Connor having weird dreams about Angel.
Right.
That's just a weird how it starts and how, like, I really thought that it was Connor having weird hallucinations. So it may just may be my fault, but I thought it was Connor having weird hallucinations. So then I thought it was some kind of Tyler Durden thing where Connor's imagining Angel's fighting with him, and then he snaps his neck. It's a lot of weird things, and I guess it's supposed to be weird because it's a dream sequence.
Right.
But does Angel picture Connor crouched Batman-like on the building because that's what he wants Connor to be?
No, it's like he is imagining this showdown with him, but then they end up fighting together like superheroes or whatever.
Don't know too many superheroes who snap their quasi-partners' necks, but...
Oh, no, because then it turns to the dark turn or whatever. Mm-hmm. The Angelus turn.
Yeah. Which I guess that's... When Wesley says that the brain damage, which I guess maybe Angel does, and he will eventually. Who knows? But do you think the brain damage is he just be kind of a comatose vampire?
Yeah, I don't know.
Would the brain damage mean that Angel kind of disappears and it's Angelus?
No, I think he would become more, I guess, more like the beast from Bylea, like more just kind of focused on almost zombie-ish.
The beast wasn't zombie-ish. The beast was aggressive. So you think he'd just be kind of like a desiccated shell?
Well, no, because I think he would be... I guess it depends on how weak he was. Because he would be focused on getting food. I don't think he'd be able to, like, comprehend anything. I mean, we saw when he came back from the Hell Dimension in Buffy...
Yes, he was.
In season 3, he was like an animal.
Mm-hmm. Which is referenced again. And he got over that because Buffy was there. And that...
The power of love.
And that gets away all kinds of trauma. For hundreds of years. Right? That's how things work.
You would think I can't go through this argument again with, like, you're in a hell dimension for 100 years. I pretty much think, yeah, I'm redeemed now. I had my suffering. I'm good.
Yeah, I do not like when he references that he's been to hell, because... And that really, as much flashbacks as we get of Angel, I would like at least one when he's in the Hell Dimension. As opposed to be a thing that happened in between seasons that we never reference except for jokes. Because this is maybe the third. I'm thinking of the one time before when Kate told him to go to hell, and he says, "Been there, done that." And I think there might have been a second time, and this is at least the second time that I can remember, maybe even third. Or beyond.
I don't know. I like, again, every time they reference the history of the shows.
Well, I'm fine with them referencing the history. I'm not fine with them referencing the fact that he's been to hell, because that opens a whole thing. It opens a whole nother discussion, and they really are not too interested in having that discussion, obviously.
Right.
Because they didn't think through him going to a hell dimension. I mean, they did think it through in the fact that they needed to bring him back because they were going to do the Angel show, but not when they actually sent him there.
No, because it didn't matter about his feelings. It was more about
Buffy.
his relationship to Buffy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what that
Buffy
meant.
wasn't too concerned about Angel's feelings on anything. And not the show. The show, not the character. I'm not saying she's a heartless person.
It's all about me.
Yeah, was that not the story of Buffy? But no, the show was never interested in Angel as a character, besides being broody and being a hunk who sometimes killed people. Anyway, favorite moments and scores.
So for my favorite moment, I end up going with Angel's speech to Connor at the end. I know, big shocker. It's kind of another variation of the if nothing matters what we do, all that matters is what we do, whatever.
Yeah. Which, not to cut you off, but I like how he sets it up, thinking that it's kind of going to be, that he's going to change maybe from if nothing matters. If nothing we do matters, then all that matters is what we do. But he kind of reaffirms that.
Yeah. It gets him back on mission and sums up...
He's got the mission back, bro.
Yeah. He sums up the show very well. I love every time they kind of reiterate the mission statement. And I don't know. It was very empowering. And I liked the fact that how he has to say this to his son, I thought worked and was really effective. And him having to be like,
"Get done talking."
Okay, anyone calling themselves daddy feels really weird to me. Daddy's not done talking.
Okay, well, it's weird if you're not actually talking to your son.
Your son?
Then I think it's fine. This is a whole nother conversation. But anybody calls them daddy and they're not talking directly about a child, that is creepy to me. And it needs to stop. Anyway.
No, it worked really well. I love and you're not a part of that, and now get the hell out. Like, he gets to be both angry, and there's a nice tension in that scene that gets diffused with him actually repeating the mission statement.
Or also saying that talking really takes it out of you.
Yeah, that too.
And the fact that I need Cordy. Because it's Cordelia. This is Angel's one baseline.
I really wish he would have said it's Cordelia.
Yeah, okay. Well, I also like that it's diffused by going to Cordelia as a higher power, and the most perfect Cordelia line I think you can have, which saying she's so bored. Anyway, that's not my favorite moment because I let you have that one, even though I probably think it's the best moment of the episode. I went with Lila chopping off Linwood's head because, for obvious reasons, really, and the fact that obviously I remember that Linwood died this way. But I didn't remember last season when we were watching it when Linwood becomes progressively more cowardly and looks out for himself and wants to just kill Angel. And I like how they set that up, thinking that you think it's like the way it was set up was the fact that Linwood seemed to be in charge and Linwood was doing what I guess was right for Wolfram and Hart, but it's really kind of a plot hole when you think about it, because, as Lila says, Angel's supposed to be an upcoming player in the Apocalypse, and Wolfram and Hart wants Angel alive. And I like that existed, and they kind of let it lie, only to bring it back for this surprising moment. They actually seated pretty well.
Yeah. Do you think she truly believed that Wes didn't know anything, or
I think she doesn't believe that he knows anything. I think when she says he doesn't know anything, I read real genuine kind of the most genuine affection she shows towards Wesley, because Wesley's not around, so she doesn't have to do this play acting that I'm not interested in you.
Yeah.
But also that I don't think she knows anything about him, and I think she would want him to be safe.
Yeah, okay. Also, we didn't talk about Cordelia's hair.
Well, it wasn't egregious to me yet.
Okay.
I mean, give it time. She's only in some dream sequences and has the glowing cloud.
Which I guess they had to, like, keep it similar enough to last season.
I mean, I don't think their salons is a higher being.
I like Gunn's goatee.
It's not a goatee. It's like an overgrown soul patch.
It's like little goatee.
Well, goatee would mean he has a mustache as well.
Okay, but he has the chin.
He has a fluffy patch on his chin.
Yes.
Which really grosses me out. Anyway.
Okay, so scores?
Oh, yeah, scores. Why'd you go? Because I don't really have one. I'll probably just copy yours.
I like this a lot. I know a lot of it was set up, but there's some really great moments, and I just liked getting back to it, and I'm gonna give this a 69 out of 100. Okay,
I'm not gonna copy your score because I think that's too high. I'm gonna give it a 65 because I think it was good. And that's
I thought it was better than the season finale, honestly.
It probably was, and it probably gave the season... I don't remember what it gave the season finale. I think it might have given it a 65. Who cares? I do think this is better. So maybe I should... Maybe I should score it higher, or maybe I just made a mistake scoring the season finale high. Anyway, I'm giving it a 65, and don't try to change it. And
got it. All right. And if you'd like to leave us some feedback, you can do so by commenting on the post at theangelrewatch.wordpress.com.
Or you can send an email to angelrewatch@gmail.com.
Or you can call our voicemail number at 206-203-3276.
Or you can go to the Tumblr, which is angelrewatch.tumblr.com, to see all the reviews archived there and the gifts of whatever so we're watching week. Though I'm probably going to change up the schedule where I'm actually going to do gifts of the whatever podcast is released that week, as opposed to what I've been doing is the episode before. I do the gifts before we actually record the episode. I think I'm going to switch it back. Not that it really matters to anybody, but just an FYI.
Okay. We're available on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher. While you're there, leave us a 5-star review. It really helps promote the show. You can follow me on Twitter at NerdGuyWilliam.
You can follow me on Twitter and Tumblr at The Corridor.
And as a side note, we'll be recording a little bit earlier next week. We'll be recording Thursday night, the 29th of October. And next time, we'll be reviewing Ground State, where Angel, Fred, and Gunn break into an auction house to get an object that may locate Cordelia.